Plaintiff Nick Galusha and his fiancée Dina Greenwald say Nick and the defendant moved to New Orleans together, and they were best friends until the defendant told people that he had sex with Dina. Dina insists she only kissed the defendant, and Nick is suing him for rent and emotional distress. Defendant Ryan Gira insists he and Dina did have sex, and Dina is just using Nick because he has a good job. Ryan claims he only had sex with Dina to prove to Nick that Nick could do better, and he denies owing for anything.
Start with you.
Well, Ryan, or Surly as we all called him, was my former best friend. We moved to New Orleans together and got a great house. Continued being best friends until he decided that he was going to tell the whole town that he slept with my fiancée, which is a total lie.
Ooh. Wow.
I guess he was just jealous and thought it was more important for him to have a beer buddy than for me to have a lifelong happiness. So just
when did you all move?
We moved to New Orleans in September of 2018.
18. And how long after that do you believe he desired your woman or started telling the lies?
It's not a lie.
It was December of 18, just before Christmas.
How did you find out?
I found out through mutual friends, and I confronted Dina on it.
How did mutual friends know what happened with your fiancé?
Because he was bragging to the entire town. Sorry to interrupt you, Judge.
Really?
He was bragging to the entire town because he wanted me to get word so I would break up with her so we could go back to being...
When you asked your fiancé, what did she say?
She said that there was one night when they had a little too much to drink and he kissed her, and that was it. And it was really hard for me to accept, but we moved past it because I know it was just a kiss. And he just decided to run with that story. Ryan, or Surly as we all called him, was my former best friend until he decided that he was going to tell the whole town that he slept with my fiancée, which is a total lie.
Ooh. Wow.
I guess he was just jealous and thought it was more important for him to have a beer buddy than for me to have a lifelong happiness.
Plaintiff Nick Galusha and his fiancée Dina Greenwald say Nick and the defendant were best friends until the defendant told people that he had sex with Dina.
What's your story?
We were drinking, we were hanging out. She used to hang out at the house a lot where Nick was at work.
Hanging out doing what?
She was living with us temporarily
Okay,
while we were
that's
looking
different.
for
She's
us.
living there.
Just watching TV or she'd be in his room.
She's living there.
Yeah. But, you know, one night we're drinking, we're like snacking on some cheese
Trying
balls.
to act like the woman just comes over there to keep you company.
Well, like, you know, one night, you know, started making eyes. I started making eyes. It was kind of wrong, but it kind of felt right, you know, and we ended up having sex.
You know that's a total lie.
Really not true.
Just give it up. Nobody believes you.
We had sex, man.
Like, you really think?
Lying to you.
Look at yourself,
There's
Surly.
no facts behind it.
Look at yourself. You look like how ketchup smells. There's no way a girl like this would be with you.
She's using...
Dude.
She's always just been playing you, man.
She was complaining to you?
No, she was always playing Nick.
Oh, playing.
Nick has a good job. He has his own business. She just uses him because she doesn't have to do anything if she's with him.
That's not true at all.
How is that using him for him to be a provider for his fiancée? How is that using? They're en route to marriage. How is that using? Because he works hard, has a good income, and wants to help or provide, be a provider for his
Somebody
fiancée.
had to pay the rent.
She'd always just hang around. She'd be drinking beer. She'd be eating all the cheese balls in the house.
Tell me what she did wrong, eating the cheese balls.
They're my cheese balls. She'd like eating them. That's my stuff.
Why would you do this to your best friend?
Because I think he can do better, and I think there's a
Why
better way
would
to
you
go.
have sex with your best friend's fiancé? They say it was just a kiss.
It was a little bit of a mistake. I also thought, you know, maybe
you gonna blame it on the alcohol?
He'd be broken up about it, and she'd get out of the picture, you know?
Some best friend you are. Do you blame it on the alcohol? I'm trying to let you at least give a little rationale, sir, and not seem as low as a snake.
I'm gonna blame it on the alcohol a little bit, but there was a spot of sincerity
no excuse.
where, you know, I really did think that maybe he could do better if we slept with each other, he'd be upset, but he could do better.
Why would you think I would forgive you after that? I know that was your end game. You wanted to be beer buddies again, and you got jealous that I was hanging out with her more often.
Maybe he wants you. If he tried to interrupt your relationship with your woman so that he can spend more time with you, he wants to kiss you too.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I got news for you.
I'm not. That's crossed my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
We were always going to the bars together, and we were always like hanging out. We were
Getting drunk, getting him drunk. He just didn't get drunk enough, huh?
Not trying to do that.
To do your thing. All right, and I'm gonna let you stick with the kissing, ma'am. And if she admitted to it, you got an honest woman, because she could have lied her way out of that. She's because, well, we just decided to greet each other in that manner. It had nothing to do with desire. That's what I would say if I was a lying man. If I was a lying man.
We've all made some mistakes.
And as I tell y'all, I got flaws. So every now and then, I like to reiterate this because I sit up here as a judge and characterize something and criticize other folks' lifestyle. Smoke cigarettes every blue moon like President Obama.
That's great.
I curse all the time like a sailor. A couple more things, if I thought long enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's enough.
And that's enough? I think I got a couple more things. Nonetheless, I'm not going to encourage others to lie. So I did right by being honest with your fiancé and telling him that it was a kiss. Tell me about the 1,500 or the 1,700, sir.
Well, 1,200 of that is when we first moved to New Orleans together, Sully was having a tough time finding a job. So I paid October and November rent all by myself, and he was supposed to cover my half of the rent for December, January, whenever he had it. Obviously, as soon as all of this happened, I wanted nothing to do with him. I moved out in December after paying December's rent, and he isn't going to pay me the $1,200 back. And the $500 for emotional distress is, he told me this, that he slept with my fiance right before Christmas. I didn't know, I wanted to believe her, but that's a lot to go through. I didn't know what to do, so my heart sank thinking that I lost the love of my life and my best friend in the same day. I just booked it back to Austin to be with actual friends, and I feel like I'm entitled to some sort of compensation.
I really did think that maybe he could do better if we slept with each other, he'd be upset, but...
Why would you think I would forgive you after that? I know that was your end game. You wanted to be beer buddies again, and you got jealous that I was hanging out with her more often.
Maybe he wants you. If he tried to interrupt your relationship with your woman so that he can spend more time with you, he wants to kiss you too.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I got news for you.
Plaintiff Nick Galusha and his fiancée, Dina Greenwald, say Nick and the defendant were best friends until the defendant told people that he had sex with Dina.
I'm here from you, sir.
Well, I'm not paying him back just because.
Pardon me?
I'm not paying him back because he just kind of just got up and left, just straight up left town.
We didn't have we were
I had to go find, random stranger off the internet, off Craigslist to move in, and that guy sucks. You just up and left. You left the city. I'm not.
And he did
back.
right. He did right, as opposed to going upside your head, which is what many would do. That's the other part. I am a little confrontational.
I gathered that.
And I believe in revenge. I pray over that, but I'm going to get you back if it takes the rest of my life, if you cross me or do something to me. But he was much smarter than I would have been in that situation. And to leave is considered, based on what you did, is a constructive eviction, meaning it was impossible for him to stay there, for you all to stay there together after your actions. So your actions caused him to leave, which is, under the law, if the condition is so bad that the two folks are unable to live with each other, you leave immediately. And whomever caused that issue is the one that is liable for that constructive eviction. You caused this. You caused him to leave. It was impossible for him to stay there with you and look at you every day without doing something to you. You don't look like you do much fighting. What do? I know you don't fight. What you do to get people back? You just pray you forgive them?
No, I think about it and get them back in the long run. We won't do the tricks on TV. I can't
put it
do
in
all.
your computer, and when that time comes,
there you go.
All right. So I'm going to grant your judgment, sir, because it was a constructive eviction. Had this not happened, then yes, you've paid your rent and he abandoned his portion of the rent. And so his case would be dismissed. But under these circumstances, you evicted him based on your actions because he could no longer stay there under those circumstances. And $1,700 is your judgment. Have a good day.
I mean, I'm happy the judgment went our way. It's going to help us get a better place for ourselves. But I'm still heartbroken that I had so many years of a scumbag as a best friend.
Yeah, well, have fun with the liar, dude.
Yeah, we all know who the liar is here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, just sleep with somebody else again, and you'll be heartbroken all over again.
Yeah, no, we're together forever with $1,700 of your money now, so you can